For many years, Keanu Reeves has been known around the world as the man who continued to smile despite unimaginable loss. Behind the glamour of Hollywood lay a life filled with tragedies that led many to believe he would never open his heart again. Then, a woman quietly entered his life. She was neither a famous film star nor someone seeking attention, but a person who had stood quietly beside Keanu for many years before the world even knew she existed. And now, after many years of remaining almost completely silent about their private life, Alexandra Grant has finally shared a few rare insights into their marriage, revealing a love story very different from what the public had imagined. Before Alexandra Grant became known to the public as Keanu Reeves' life partner, she had already built an impressive career in the world of visual arts. A respected artist, painter, and creative professional, Alexandra devoted much of her life to projects that combined painting, language, and philosophy. She rarely appeared in entertainment news and had little interest in the world of celebrity. It was precisely this that made Alexandra and Keanu's meeting unfold in a way that was very different from the typical Hollywood love story. The two met around 2009 and quickly realized they shared a passion for art, literature, and meaningful conversation. Neither pursued the other from the beginning. They were simply friends who could spend hours discussing books, painting, poetry, and creative ideas. Their relationship gradually developed as they began collaborating on artistic projects. In 2011, Alexandra illustrated the book Ode to Happiness, written by Keanu Reeves himself. Rather than being just another publishing project, it became the first milestone that revealed the remarkable connection between two people from very different worlds. A few years later, they collaborated again on Shadows, 2016, a work combining Keanu's photographs with Alexandra's artistic interpretation. With each project, their relationship grew stronger. They were no longer simply collaborators, but people who consistently found harmony in the way they thought about and viewed life. What made it remarkable was that, throughout nearly a decade, almost no one knew they were in love. Unlike many celebrity couples who regularly appear before the media, Keanu and Alexandra kept their private lives almost entirely out of the spotlight. They were rarely photographed together, never shared details of their relationship on social media, and made no effort to attract public attention. Even many of Keanu Reeves' longtime fans had no idea that a woman had quietly been by his side all along. It was this discretion that allowed their relationship to develop naturally, free from the pressure of public opinion or media scrutiny. Instead of building their relationship beneath the spotlight, they spent years becoming each other's closest friend before choosing to begin a new chapter as romantic partners. Perhaps that is what makes the story of Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant so distinctive. It did not begin with love at first sight or sensational newspaper headlines, but was built upon friendship, mutual respect, and a shared passion for creativity, the solid foundations they continue to cherish to this day. In November 2019, Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant made their first public appearance holding hands on the red carpet at the LACMA Art Film Gala in Los Angeles. That brief moment alone was enough to create headlines around the world. After many years of being regarded as Hollywood's loneliest man, the public finally discovered that Keanu had found someone to share his life with. What surprised many people was not that Keanu had found a partner, but the way they appeared together. There were no extravagant gestures, no excessive public displays of affection, and no attention-grabbing statements. They simply held hands, smiled, and walked together like any ordinary couple. After that appearance, Alexandra Grant rarely spoke about their private life. However, in a handful of interviews, she revealed a little about the life they shared. According to Alexandra, the foundation of their relationship was not Hollywood-style romance, but friendship, creativity, and mutual respect. She shared that they always encouraged one another to pursue what they loved. Keanu remained devoted to filmmaking and artistic projects, while Alexandra continued creating, organizing exhibitions, and managing her own work. They never tried to change one another, nor did either expect the other to give up an independent life for the sake of the relationship. One of the things Alexandra values most is their ability to talk about anything: art, literature, philosophy, or even the ordinary details of everyday life can become the subject of conversations that last for hours. For her, that deep emotional and intellectual connection is what allows a relationship to endure over time. Alexandra also acknowledged that many people are curious about what their life is like behind closed doors. But in her view, not every love story needs to be explained or proven to the public. Some things become even more precious when they are protected within the privacy of everyday life. Perhaps that is why, throughout the years, Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant have continued to live such a peaceful life in the heart of Hollywood. They appear together when necessary, support each other's work, and then quietly return to their simple daily routine. They do not need the whole world to understand their love story, because, as Alexandra has implied, what matters most is that they understand and trust one another. Being the life partner of one of the world's most beloved stars has never been easy. Alexandra Grant understood very well that, from the moment their relationship became public, their lives would no longer belong entirely to themselves. Every appearance they made together, every photograph, and every small gesture could become the subject of discussion across newspapers and social media. But what makes Alexandra different is that she has never seen Keanu Reeves the way the public sees him. In one of her rare interviews, Alexandra shared that when she is with Keanu, she does not see a Hollywood superstar or a cinematic icon. She simply sees a kind man, curious about the world, someone who always treats others with kindness and has never allowed fame to change who he is. According to her, Keanu has remained remarkably down to earth. He enjoys reading, loves art, always listens to others, and shows genuine care for the people around him. Those qualities are what made her fall in love with him, rather than the fame or success for which he is admired around the world. Of course, becoming the focus of public attention has sometimes brought pressure. Alexandra has acknowledged that comments online and opinions about her appearance, her age, or their relationship are not always easy to ignore. At times, she has felt that people seem determined to invent a story instead of accepting the reality of their lives. However, rather than allowing outside voices to affect them, the two chose to build what Alexandra described as a fortress of trust. It is a space that belongs only to them, where honesty and trust always come before rumors or speculation. They rarely respond to rumors, nor do they try to prove anything to the public. Alexandra believes that a lasting relationship is not built through explanations to the media, but through two people choosing to be truthful with each other every single day. Perhaps it is their similar personalities that have allowed them to preserve this. Both Keanu and Alexandra are private people who dislike putting their personal lives on display. They value quiet dinners, trips without cameras following them, and moments spent together without becoming the center of anyone's attention. For Alexandra Grant, love is not about how much of your happiness the world can see. What matters more is that when the door closes, they can still look into each other's eyes with complete trust. And it is that fortress that has enabled them to protect what matters most in a world that is endlessly curious about Keanu Reeves' life. For many years, the public has seen Keanu Reeves as a man carrying an extraordinary amount of loss. The death of his close friend, River Phoenix, the loss of his daughter before she was born, and then the death of his partner, Jennifer Syme, just over a year later, left wounds that seemed never to have fully healed. Perhaps that is why so many people believed Keanu would choose to remain alone forever. But Alexandra Grant entered his life in a way that no one expected. She never tried to replace Keanu's past, nor did she attempt to make him forget the pain he had endured. Instead, she accepted it as part of who he was and quietly walked beside him as he continued moving forward. People close to the couple have said that since Alexandra became part of his life, Keanu has seemed lighter in spirit. He smiles more, is more open, and appears to have rediscovered a sense of peace that he had lost many years before. It was not a sudden transformation, but a gradual process built upon trust and mutual understanding. Keanu himself has touched on this in a handful of interviews. He has described Alexandra as one of the best things to happen in his life and admitted that she has made him a better person. He has said that he is grateful for every moment they spend together, even if those moments consist only of life's simple, everyday pleasures. What is particularly striking is that Alexandra did not save Keanu in the way many love stories are often portrayed. She did not erase his painful memories, nor did she turn his life into a fairy tale. What she gave him was a place peaceful enough that he no longer had to face those painful memories alone. Perhaps that is the greatest meaning of love in Keanu Reeves' life. After many years of carrying losses that once seemed impossible to overcome, he finally found someone who did not try to change his past, but simply reached for his hand and walked forward beside him. For Keanu, Alexandra Grant is not only his life partner, but also proof that even after the deepest emotional wounds, people can still find healing when they meet the right person. The story of Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant is not a high-profile romance filled with grand declarations to the media. On the contrary, what makes them remarkable is the quiet life they have chosen to protect together over so many years. In a world where celebrity relationships are often exposed to public scrutiny, Keanu and Alexandra have chosen to protect what matters most through privacy, trust, and mutual respect. They do not need extravagant gestures to prove their love, because the quiet way they have stood beside each other through the years says everything. After losses that once seemed impossible to heal, Keanu Reeves finally found someone who did not try to change who he was, but accepted both his scars and his past. And perhaps that is the message Alexandra Grant wanted people to understand most when she first opened up about their marriage. Love is not about erasing pain, but about staying long enough so that pain no longer has to be carried alone. Perhaps that is why their story has offered such a meaningful message to so many people. No matter how much life may take away, and no matter how completely a heart may have been broken, there is always hope of loving again. Not with the intensity of youth, but with the peace, understanding, and trust that are built over time. And sometimes, the greatest love is not the one that captures the world's attention, but the one quiet enough to help two people heal each other for the rest of their lives.